Saddened to tell you that there is a race war underway in America. The idea of inclusion has been thrown out the window now, apparently. There are people in this country that want white people to feel guilty for simply being white. None of us have a choice as to what color we are born as, which means you can't punish us or anyone for being born a certain color, right? White, black, or brown, it doesn't matter. We all bleed red. And yes, we are all humans. America has, of course, had a dark history when it comes to racism, but I wasn't responsible for that. Neither were my parents. And now it seems everywhere we turn, white people are being lectured about the, quote, inherent faults of being white. So Merrick Garland is going through hearings leading up to his certain confirmation to be the next Attorney General. Straight out of the box, this is how he describes the prosecution of those who took part in the security breach of the Capitol back on January 6th.
If confirmed, I will supervise the prosecution of white supremacists and others who stormed the Capitol on January 6th.
Come on, white supremacists? I mean, we have all denounced what happened at the Capitol numerous times, but I don't think the underlying theme of that inexcusable siege was racism. People were simply angry and they wrongly acted out in a criminal manner. For Merrick Garland to push this race-baiting Democrat talking point is chilling because he wants to be the nation's next top prosecutor. And he just proved that he is unable to remain unbiased. He is already playing politics by quietly laying the groundwork that all Trump supporters are racist and all minorities are victims. Senator Kennedy questioned him today on the, quote, systemic racism he believes in.
When you refer to systemic racism, what is that?
Plain to me that there is discrimination and widespread disparate treatment of communities of color and other ethnic minorities in this country.
Is it as widespread as the left makes it out to be? I just don't see it. But it's not just the Democrats in Washington that are pushing this divisive game. Coca Cola is now rightly taking heat for using diversity training materials, directing employees to, quote, try to be less white. First off, could you imagine a company pushing company-wide training materials directing employees to try to be less black or try to be less Hispanic? The outrage would rightly be deafening. Now, screenshots of the presentation are circulating on social media and confirmed by Coca Cola push the opposite of inclusion. Less white to Coca Cola apparently means, you ready? Be less oppressive, be less arrogant, be less certain, be less defensive, be less ignorant, be more humble. This is the very definition of racism, lumping all people from a certain group into negative categories. Now, I didn't know that white people were more oppressive and arrogant than other races. We are apparently more ignorant, too. Be less certain, they write? See, that's a bizarre one. I actually teach my son to be more certain, make a decision. Maybe an error, but never in doubt is what I try to teach him. Uncertainty always leads to failure. But that's not advice for my white son. It's advice for kids and adults of all colors. Now, apparently this course, called Confronting Racism with Robin DiAngelo, isn't being just used by Coca Cola, as critics have now dubbed the soft drink giant. It's a LinkedIn learning course used by the University of Montana, other colleges and universities, and other companies as well. This is DiAngelo giving a preview of her class.
Right now, I am generalizing about white people, and that questions a very precious ideology, which is most white people are raised to see ourselves as individuals. We don't like being generalized about.
Who likes being generalized about? All right, so what she is also generalizing is that black people don't see themselves as individuals. I just don't believe that. But if that's true, maybe there should be a different course for everyone, regardless of color, to teach people why it's important to view ourselves as individuals. Instead, she does what I assume, giving her the benefit of the doubt, she does what she seeks to eliminate. She pits one group against another. It isn't healthy or productive for anyone. But we see this more and more, and the extreme intimidation in regards to race. That's how self-described liberal, former Smith College administrator Jody Shaw described the climate while working at Smith College. She also graduated from Smith, by the way. This is her.
Stop asking me to project stereotypes and assumptions onto others based upon their skin color, because I feel like that's what you ask me to do incessantly over and over again for the past 3 years, and I'm not going to do that.
So she resigned from Smith College. She also asked that Smith College allow people to work free from the ever-present terror that any unverified student allegation of racism has the power to destroy reputations, ruin livelihoods, or even endanger their safety. What Jody Shaw describes is going on across the country, not just at our nation's liberal universities, but inside corporate America too. It is a polarizing practice that does more harm to race relations than good. No one should ever be ashamed or feel guilty about the color of their skin. White, black, brown, any color